Hi everybody, welcome back to the CamelCast podcast. This is your host Sam, back at y'all with another episode here with the co-host Jaden. Say hi, Jaden.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of CamelCast. Today we are going to be talking about the fourth Democratic debate, more about the currents, about Hillary joking about running for president, and lastly about impeachment. So I guess we'll start off with the fourth Democratic debate. So what are your thoughts?
Okay, so none of us watched it when it aired on CNN. Well, we did watch some segments, and I actually rewatched the entire debate. So first, let's start off with the winners and losers. So Jade, who do you think were the winners and losers of the debate?
I'm pretty sure that definitely losers are probably Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg, and the winners, I think, were probably Andrew Yang and who else do you think?
Here's my thoughts. I agree that Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, they did not do a good debate. All they did was criticize. Pete Buttigieg acted a bit like a jerk during the debate. They only criticized things. They only criticized Medicare for all, free college. They did not do it at all. For the people who did do well, I think it's Andrew Yang, like you said, and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Bernie came as a bombshell after his heart condition. I think he proved to everyone that he is still healthy, and there should be no questions that Bernie can change.
Yeah. I think that Bernie did super well. He roasted Biden quite a lot. Andrew Yang, I think he also did very well, even though I did disagree on some of his points as he was arguing with Bernie about the job guarantee. But other than that, I do think Andrew Yang did very well during the debate. I think they kind of screwed Tulsi, which was very unfair because she tried so hard to make it into the debate. And she actually had some very good arguments, but the DNC just screwed her, and it's very bad.
Yeah, I think with the debate you're seeing every time you see kind of your usual winners. I think Andrew Yang, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, those are your common winners. And then you have like your common losers, which is like I feel like Amy Klobuchar, just kind of a really not good debaters like Joe Biden.
Yeah, well, Pete Buttigieg, I mean, that was kind of a surprise because usually he does pretty well, but now he just came off as a big meanie who is against all these progressive ideas. So that was kind of a bit of a surprise.
But then every week, every debate, I feel like we see these people in the debate who just go under the radar. They don't. It's like, think about it. When the media is always talking about the winner and losers, they're never talking about the people in the middle ground. So the winners and the losers are getting tons of media coverage. But then you have those people that, like Kamala Harris, and like those people that really nobody ever seems to talk about because they really do nothing in the debate. Nothing bad, nothing good. And they get no media coverage, nothing. Nobody talks about them ever.
Yeah, and Kamala Harris, I mean, in the first debate, that's when it really took off. Tons of people were thinking, oh, the end it's going to be Bernie versus Kamala, Biden versus Kamala, whatever. Then she kind of tanked, and everyone realized her policies really weren't that good, and she wasn't actually, for ideas like Medicare for all. And she's really kind of being stagnant right now. So
a bit of a hypocrite.
Yeah. So I think Bernie... So I think he had a very low point in campaign when he had the heart thing, and he was losing points in terms of polls. It was like very hard on his health. He was doing all these town halls. It was exhausting. But now he's kept up. We noticed that the squad, which is Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and AOC, they actually came out for supporting Bernie as being the Democratic nominee, which really helped him, gain back some popularity. And the debate he did really well, which I think really helped him in the long term.
Yeah, a lot of polls are now starting to show, because as you've seen in past polls, you had your usual top three. You had Joe Biden running away with it, then you had either Elizabeth Warren, then Bernie, or Bernie, then Elizabeth, and it was usually kind of close there. Joe Biden has started to lose support. They're now seeing some polls showing Elizabeth Warren, and then Bernie and Joe Biden kind of close, but Elizabeth Warren in first, which is actually kind of interesting because it's definitely changing a lot.
Yeah, I think that the tip for Bernie, I like what Bernie is doing right now. He is making more of a difference between himself and Elizabeth Warren. Like, for example, on an interview with ABC, I think, I forgot what it was, but he said that, he made a distinction, that he said that Elizabeth Warren was a capitalist to her bones. And he said that Bernie, he wasn't a capitalist to his bones, but Elizabeth Warren was. And I think it was very good that he made that distinction, because in a lot of polls, Elizabeth Warren is beating him, and Bernie really needs to come out as the more left-wing candidate so that he can gain more of the popularity. Now, Elizabeth Warren, she is one of the most left-wing candidates. She does have some very good policies, surrounding taxation and, wealth and Wall Street and stuff, but she's not Bernie. She's like Diet Bernie. She's Bernie light. Yeah.
So let's move on to our next topic. I think we'll go into impeachment now. So Sam, what's happened this week with the impeachment inquiry?
Well, so it's been, kind of stagnant with the progress. And one of the main leaders in it, Elijah Cummings, has unfortunately died. It was very tragic. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But with the inquiry, surprisingly, a lot of Republicans have been coming out against Trump, which is something I did not expect. So that's weird.
So something quite interesting that I'm going to jump into quickly is, so Nancy Pelosi refuses to hold a House vote on impeachment. Now, but what you may not realize is Republicans are going to say this is illegitimate. They're not holding a House vote. They know it won't get passed. They're just, they know, the Democrats know we could never pass impeachment, so they refuse to hold a House vote. So, I think it's time to jump into tips for impeachment. So my tip is hold a House vote, because it's clearly going to pass. It is it's so obvious that it will pass the House. First of all, the House is democratically owned. It's Democrat owned. So it's near impossible for it to not pass the House. Even if you have a couple of Democrats that vote no, it still would easily get through the House. And that would remove a Republican talking point that we haven't held a House vote.
Yeah, I know. And, and if it passes through the House, more Republicans are likely to support it, in the Senate. And, it's a butterfly effect. So eventually, it might actually go down. In fact, for impeachment, it's looking quite well, as tons of Republicans, like I said, are coming out against Trump and against all the corruption that's been happening. And Joe Biden actually did some good strategies. He basically kept saying that he wasn't guilty, even though he was. But I'm not saying that he's right. I'm just saying it's a good political strategy for him. And overall, it looks I think it should worry Trump, because this thing is gaining a lot of popularity on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, and it's been quite interesting to follow, because the Trump administration is so weird to me. You've got 5 of his officials talking about how, there's so many quid pro quos, and but it doesn't matter. You shouldn't focus on that. Just get on with it. Doesn't matter. And then you've got the other half of his administration saying, "What are you talking about? This call was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. Everything was perfect."
Yeah. Well,
as you can see in the transcript, and then Trump says, "Well, as you can see in the transcript, it was perfect." But then you look at the transcript, and it wasn't.
I know, but, again, I think the Democrats, I think they should realize that a lot of their candidates have, had some corrupt dealings with foreign governments too. Like Hillary Clinton, she calls Donald Trump a corrupt human tornado. Well, I think that Hillary Clinton is a corrupt lizard tornado. So, yeah. A lot of them, because here's the thing. Why was Biden involved in Ukraine in the first place? I don't know. There's still so many questions about this that none of us know.
On both sides, there's so many questions, but the thing is, it's very confusing because on two sides, there's definitely a lot of questions, but Donald Trump should not be withholding military aid for a country that is in dire need for that military aid because he needs dirt on an opponent. It's not like he's asking him. The thing is, Trump wasn't just asking to investigate Joe Biden. It's not like Joe Biden is some random Joe. I just realized that one.
Hey,
I didn't even realize that until I said it.
Wait.
Joe Biden is is one of his political opponents, and the fact is, Trump wouldn't care about this if Joe Biden wasn't running for president. Trump wouldn't care about this if Joe Biden wasn't one of the front runners. But because he is, Trump is investing all this time in getting dirt on Joe Biden.
Well, yeah, true. And, I don't think it's right that Trump is getting dirt on Joe Obama, but still, because here's the thing. I don't think we should really be giving military aid to Ukraine anyway. We shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Because even though I disagree with Russia just coming in and invading Crimea and all of that stuff, and I'm not just saying that because because I speak Russian as my first language, but yeah, I don't think they should be doing that, but I don't think it really is in U.S. interest to intervene, so I don't think we should be doing that. But Trump is handling this all the wrong ways. I think he's thinking that we should continue military aid, but he said this in a phone call. He said that the U.S. has been helping Ukraine and not in reciprocal, which basically means that Ukraine has not been helping the U.S. back, and that Ukraine owes Donald Trump something, which isn't really the truth. Ukraine doesn't owe anything to us, and Donald Trump thinks that America can do whatever it wants and command other countries, and I think it's terrible and it needs to stop.
Yeah. So I think on that note, it's time we jump into our next topic, which we're going to continue talk on the Kurds and Turkey, all that stuff going on there. So there was a ceasefire, and I say that in quotes because it really just meant the Kurds have 5 days to abandon the land.
Mm.
And Trump thinks it was a win-win for both sides. Like, come on. It's like he thought it was a good idea to remove troops. And yes, we shouldn't be in all these regime change wars. But this is different. This is fighting a major terrorist group who poses a major threat on America. It's not like we're doing some regime change war in, like, Iraq or some stupid war that we don't need to be in. This was a little different, but I do kind of agree with, like, slowly removing troops. But not so abruptly and just saying, okay, Kurds, you know what, we're just going to abandon you and let Turkey come and invade you.
Yeah, so I think that, it's a very complicated situation. It's one of the most complicated international incidents in the world at this moment right now. But, so one thing is that I understand that's different, that he probably shouldn't have, he took out the troops in the wrong place at the wrong time, and, now Turkey's going to do something about it, and the Kurds, they have to, ally with Assad, and then there's a ceasefire. It's very complicated, but I find it, it's not even that surprising. A lot of Republicans are condemning Trump for doing this, and I feel like the only time they would ever condemn Trump is if he took troops out of somewhere. Because I don't think they really understand this situation. I think they just say America first, America invade all of these places, and they do not ask. I think that Trump was not correct in taking out the troops at that time. I think he should have done some diplomacy with Turkey and the Kurds and, Assad before he took out the troops. Because I said it, he did it at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, I get...
That also, Trump made a mistake pulling out the troops. And I think every Republican, actually it's not true, I think most people would agree it was not a smart idea. But I think also most people, if he had said, oh wait, Turkey's invading, why did I do this, and just put troops back, everyone would have forgave him. And I'm like, okay, it's all right, you made a mistake, you fixed it. Now, they wouldn't have forgiven him for all the other things he's done, but specifically for this issue, I think they would have forgiven him. But the fact is, he's only made things worse for himself by not putting troops back in Syria.
Yeah, and but here's the thing, though. So Republicans, the ones that support Trump, they love these regime change wars. They love these pointless conflicts, which end up killing millions of civilians just for oil money. And they just love them. So whenever Trump does anything to take troops out, even if it's like the wrong move, even if it's like, I consider myself anti-imperialist, anti-war, I consider myself isolationist, and I'm generally aiming for, like, once, all of the left-wing changes are completed, more of a Trotskyist style to foreign policy. But here's the thing, though. I don't think, because Trump, he has to understand that the mess we got ourselves in when we invaded Iraq is so darn complex. The U.S. troops that fought for Turkey had to clash with U.S. troops that fought for the rebels in Syria. It is so complicated. And I don't think Trump and, his goons that follow him understand the situation enough to make a solid opinion about it, whether he should have taken out the troops or not. I don't think he should have, at that time, but I think eventually, when the right agreements were made and the right diplomacy was done, I think he should have done it.
Yeah, so a bit of a side story on that issue. So Lindsey Graham, known for defending Trump quite a lot, he condemned Trump on this issue. He said, he should not have removed troops. And Trump completely lashed out at him. And now, Lindsey Graham is not for sure on whether he is going to support Trump anymore. Lindsey Graham has started to dislike Trump a lot more and stops really defending him as much.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of Democrat, like on The View and ABC, a lot of Democrat establishment were whipping out on another U.S. Senator, Rand Paul. Rand Paul has done some horrible things in the past year. He has denied health care to 9/11 victims. He has horrible on taxations. He thinks that billionaires are victims. But the only redeeming quality is that he's against all these wars. And just the reason that he supports taking out troops from the Middle East in the long term, he has gotten so much hate from Republicans and Democrats. And I don't really think that's right.
Yeah. So I think let's move into our next story, which is, Sam, I'll let you introduce this one, actually.
All right, so basically Hillary Clinton has joked about running for 2020. Now, just for straight-up opinions, I don't have a problem with this because she'll just take away votes from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren, and the only people that would be able to win is Andrew Yang and Bernie. And, she might actually not take away votes because nobody would vote for her. She is the worst. She's a corrupt lizard tornado. She is a witch. She is one of the most corrupt human beings on the whole planet, and she could not beat Donald Trump, who, before he was president, was a reality TV star buffoon. She could not beat Donald Trump. That's how bad she is. So I don't really see a point.
And she's already proved that.
Yeah. So her running for 2020, it doesn't really change much. It doesn't change anything at all. Some people are supporting it because they think presidential campaigns are too long nowadays. I don't really care. This will only be as a benefit for Bernie Sanders. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. It doesn't really change that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost too late at this point, too. There's already been 4 debates. If you started running now, you have, no chance, I feel like.
Yeah, and what is Hillary even going to argue for? She had nothing in the last election. Last election, all she did was talk about how people should vote for her because she's a woman, and how people who support Trump, innocent working class families whose lives have been ruined by mega corporations and giving money to these industries that have basically terrorized their home, and they don't have a job and the economy is bad. Hillary did nothing but say that they should, vote for her because she's a woman, and that everyone who supports Trump, no matter how broken, or poor or devastated they are, they're all bad, they're all evil, they're all racist, they're all xenophobic, and they should just vote for her because she's a woman. This strategy, I think she would just continue doing this in 2020, but will not get any popularity, and yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's the end of this episode, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed.
Alright, so thank you for watching. If you have anything you want to say, just leave it down in the comments and we will probably notice it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, CamelCast is the best cast.
Cut that part out. We didn't do it well.